Good evening and welcome to the Speaker MC Show, where it's all about relationships. Today we have a really juicy topic. Do I have to be strong all the time? So this is for all you supermen and superwomen out there. That's right. Today is July 23rd and it's 9 p.m. Eastern. You're on the Speaker MC Show where it's all about relationships. And in case you're wondering, what are we up to? Well, this is how you can expect to flow with the show. We're going to first introduce our show, give you a little overview of what we're talking about. Then we're going to take a little break. Then we're going to come back and say hi to our guests. Yes, we have two phenomenal women here tonight to give you the riveting conversation. And then we're going to dive real deep into tonight's topic. And then we're going to take a break and we're going to open up the floor so you can not only hear from our guests, find out who they are, and how you can connect with them, and if they brought any little gifts for you. And you can ask them any questions you wish. And then we're going to close the show because it's only 60 minutes. That's right. So tonight's show, as I said, is, do I have to be strong all the time? So I want to put a question out there. How many of us feel as if we have to do everything all the damn time? Like, seriously, are you wearing a superwoman or a superman S on your chest? But Superman and superwoman, strong men, strong women, do you cry? I'm sure you do. Sometimes in the dark. Well, what is the bigger picture here? What is the bigger issue? And that's what we're going to explore tonight. Because on the Speaker MC Show, it's 60 minutes of riveting conversation where we explore how we relate to ourselves, how we relate to others, and how we relate to our environment. Yes, 60 minutes. And our intention is that for the audience, for you guys, for you ladies and gents, we will be empowering you and enlightening you about creating harmonious environments, and also boosting your self-confidence. And for our guests, who you'll meet later on, we provide them a platform and an opportunity just to share their message. And for everyone, it's all about having fun. So right now, we are going to take a short little break and come right back because we are going to entertain a word from our sponsor. Here's a word from our sponsor. Too much of this or this? When was the last time you had this or this? Been a while? If you're in the New York area, join us for champagne and chocolate conversations. It's at a comfy, convenient location where you learn 3 things you can do daily to have more energy for your nighttime activities. No nightclub, no kitty chatter. It's adult conversations. Usually it's at the last Saturday between 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern. If you are a S.W.E.L.L. member, S.W.E.L.L. members enter with full access pass. If you're a guest, that means you're not a S.W.E.L.L. member, you'll enter for a fee of $27. Bring a +1. Pay a +$7. Bring a +1 for +7. That's right. And it's usually, like I said, the last Saturday between 7 to 9 p.m. Join our meetup group for the details. http://join meetup group. That's bit.ly, join meetup group. You get the details there. You'll find out when and where we'll be meeting. See you then for some champagne and chocolate conversations. All right. and welcome back. You are just joining us. This is the Speaker MC Show, where it's all about relationships. And right now, we are going to say hello to our lovely ladies. Yes, we have two phenomenal women who are going to discuss this topic in depth with us tonight. And our first guest is the uncomfortable Miss Jovita Miller. Yes, from Pure Romance by Jovita in Fredericksburg, Virginia. Hey, Jovita. Jovita's area of expertise is personal and professional development. Jovita N. Miller is a mother, an entrepreneur, and a motivating force for women. That's right. Woo! Despite having encountered many challenges in her life, Jovita persevered while refusing to accept failure. Her tests became her testimony, which in turn became the fuel for other women to gain triumphant victory in their own lives. Jovita, welcome to the Speaker MC Show.
Hello, everybody. How are you?
Yes!
I'm excited.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Because, you know, this topic is going to touch a lot of people's lives.
Yes,
a lot
ma'am.
of people. So thank you for being here at the Speaker MC Show. And you are a friend to the show. So let's get on with it.
Thanks for having me.
And our next phenomenal woman, yes, I do say phenomenal. It's Dr. Pamela Yewong-Hall from Mafa Holistic out there in Baltimore, Maryland. Woo, woo! Hey, Pamela. Woo!
Peace and blessings.
Yes.
Peace and blessings, everyone. It's always a pleasure to be on the show with you.
Yes, and it's always an honor to have you here, Miss Pamela, Dr. Pamela Yewong-Hall. Pamela's area of expertise is acupuncture, Chinese medical herbs, and Tantra energy work. Dr. Pamela Yewong-Hall is a doctor of Oriental medicine and a licensed acupuncturist in the state of Maryland and Grand Trine certified Tantra instructor. She is a proud mother of 3 and the founder of Mafa Holistic and Pamela Hall Inc., which she operates both in the Baltimore, Maryland region. Hey, Pamela, say hello to our guests.
Great rising. Peace and blessings.
All right.
Thank you for having me here tonight.
And thank you for being here tonight. I am so super cautious with getting some of these people in here. Anyway, back to the drawing board. You're wondering, who's that crazy lady? Well, that's me. I am your host for this evening. My name's Marcia Chambers, aka Speaker MC, and I'm with S.W.E.L.L for Women in Brooklyn, New York. Woo woo! My area of expertise is helping women who are lonely in their relationships to go from sexless to steamy. And as a speaker and sexual wellness consultant, I share my message of sexual empowerment with women because it's my mission to reduce the world's divorce rate by 50%. That's why I created S.W.E.L.L, because I observed people just exchanging DNA without asking the right questions beforehand. Then they subject the rest of us to all their dysfunctions. My message focuses on women about having better sex and intimacy so that they're better parents and they're better partners. And it's through this sexual competence that they give themselves permission to be sensual and sexual and begin to lead empowered lifestyles. So as a speaker, I also host both virtual and live events, podcasts, radio show, The Bush is Swelling Show, and TV shows in an effort to positively impact and shift the paradigm in adult women about sex and female sexuality. Yes, so that's what I do. Woo woo! And we want to say thank you all for being here tonight on our show. Now, let's dive into the topic. The topic is, do I have to be strong all the time? We're talking about the Superman and the Superwomen. We're going to talk about who are these superheroes and why do they need to be strong all the damn time? But then again, the deeper issue, what's the real issue? Is it about leadership? Is it about trust? And how we can rectify this. So we're going to have a riveting conversation. And especially because this section of the Speaker MC Show is devoted to now exploring how are we relating to ourselves. That's right. So who are the superheroes? A lot of people. Are they our parents? Because they see everything and they hear everything? Or are they the parents who are also the caretakers for their parents? Because they do everything. And why do we need to be the everything answer? You got to be strong all the damn time. Well, this meme certainly rose a hair up in my back. Made me feel like, woo, okay. It says, she is clothed in strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear of the future. I mean, that's inspiring. But, we're going to dig a little bit deeper. Like, go to the root of why you got to be so strong all the damn time. Because at the end of the day, who lifts us up? All the Superman and the Superwomen. Do we ask? Do we receive when we ask? Or do we even trust the source? And is it more than just the economics? What's the deeper issue? Is there a trust issue involved? Why we got to be so strong? Or is it a leadership? Do we not know how to delegate? So we're going to explore, how can we rectify this? How can we rectify this issue? Should we ask by delegating? Should we receive help when it's offered? Should we share the burden with others? I mean, make it a communal thing. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. And I'm going to stop sharing the screen so that we can have full view of our guests and everything. Yay! So ladies, kindly take yourselves off mute, because I really want to, I want to investigate. So who in your mind's eye represents the superhero? Who is the superhero? Wearing that S on their chest. Is it only the do-gooders?
No, I would say it's mothers mainly. That's what comes to mind initially, is mothers seem to be like the superheroes.
Mothers.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That's the first thing that came to my mind was mothers.
Why mothers? Why
and I say that because naturally mothers have the tendency to want to take care of everyone and everybody and everything. And, they are the ones that everybody runs to, kind of, when they need help or advice or anything like that. You kind of run to mom. So, and that's just been my experience. You just run to mom because mom heals everything. You fall on your bike, go to mom. Mom will kiss your boo-boo. And, that's your superhero. She fixed you. You know what I'm saying? So the first thing that comes to my mind would be mothers.
Okay. Well, I take that point. But Pamela, do fathers come to mind?
Yes.
They do.
Well, I'm a daddy's girl. I'm a daddy's girl, and I did think about my mother.
Pamela, your audio is a little bit.
Can you hear me?
That's better.
Yeah, that's
Can
better.
you hear me now? Okay. While my mother did come to my mind, I'm a daddy's girl, and so I thought about the fathers who are often overlooked. They are the superheroes, the silent superheroes that are often overlooked, like Clark Kent. Nobody thought about Clark Kent. He was always overlooked. He was always the one that, no one picked for the team. But he was the Superman. The one that was overlooked was the one that was the Superman. And a lot of times with our fathers, we don't look at them, and the men in the community, we don't look at them. And the mothers, Mother's Day restaurants are jam-packed because everybody's celebrating mothers. Right. We have ladies' girls spa weekend, girls vacation. We have all of this, but then the men have nothing. Chris Rock had a joke that said, if the baby can't read, that's mama's fault. But if the baby can't read because the lights are off, that's daddy's fault. But the only thing daddy gets is the big piece of chicken.
At least he got
Nobody
something.
thinks about daddy. Nobody thinks about daddy.
That's
but
true.
But the mothers are the mothers because the fathers planted the seed. And a lot of times the women, when the fathers are present and the mothers are able to be the caregivers at home, it's because the man is working to provide the environment for her to be able to be home, to take care of the children. He's working to keep the roof over the head. He's working to keep the lights on. He's working to get all of the creature comforts that everybody needs so that they can run to mama. But then nobody even acknowledges what he does or gives space for him. So oftentimes he comes home and all he gets is a man cave in the basement.
Well, that's even more to your point, your analogy where you say nobody used to pick Clark Kent. And I was gonna say nobody picked Clark Kent because he was always hiding out in the phone booth. But it's the same thing with Daddy. Nobody is seeing Daddy, but nobody knows the behind the scenes that Daddy is doing. Yeah, he's always at work, right? So nobody sees Daddy, they only see Mommy. So they figure that, that's the just representation. So I like that analogy a lot. So for the most part, we are saying that the superheroes are caretakers, So if they are our caretakers, why do they have to be so strong all the time? Because I hear women complain that, oh my God, I got to do this all myself. Everything I got to do myself. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to cook the meals. I got to clean the house. I got to wash the baby. I got to feed the baby. Just blah, 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 the long laundry list of all the things they got to do. So when do they find time for themselves? So why is it that we got to be strong all the damn time? Why is that? Because I think that it's more of just more than just the economics of it, because there are 10 million ways to skin a cat. By the way, any cat lovers? Okay. There are 10 million ways to skin a cat, and I just feel that them doing everything all by themselves, what's the real reason for that?
Who do you want to go first?
Anybody.
The first word that pops into my mind is fear.
Okay.
Fear. And speaking personally, I raise my hand and say, my name is Pamela Yewong-Hall, and I'm a victim of the Superwoman syndrome. I've been wearing an S on my chest for about 40 years now. But if anybody asks, I'm 27 and a half, even though I'm 50. But I'm just saying. But fear.
Expound on that fear. Fear of what, though? What are you fearful of?
I would say, for me and a lot of people that I've talked to, fear of disappointment.
In whom?
Fear of disappointment, like people not showing up, people not being there, fear of being let down, being there for everyone else, but then people making excuses when it comes to you. And then sometimes that whole, if you want to do it right, you do it yourself kind of thing. And like for me, and it's like a moment of nakedness. For me, it's like I'd rather not ask you and create a story within my mind that, had I asked you, would probably have been there, than to ask you and be disappointed by you not. So a lot of times it's a fear of being let down, fear of being vulnerable, fear of being hurt. And the only thing we do is create disharmony and dis-ease within the body.
Okay, well, we don't want to touch on that just now, but I like what you said about that fear. But for me, because I was a single parent, I divorced my rambunctious husband who thought I was a pound cake. And when I escaped Alcatraz, I became a single mother. And as a single mother, I was raised by a woman who also left my father, and she decided to do everything herself. So that was my role model, you know, and she took pride in saying, whoa, I did this and I did this and I did that. So growing up with that, I said, well, okay, here I am faced with this dilemma. Well, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and I'm going to do this. So I didn't see it as fear of disappointment. I saw it that maybe in retrospect, maybe I was just that broken, or maybe I was just that insecure that people would look at me and say, well, you didn't accomplish anything. Oh, you failed this, you failed your marriage, you failed that. You know, that the eyes would be on me and the fingers would be wagging. So that's how I flipped that scenario around. And that's how my S was worn. Because I felt pride in that, oh, well, you know, I did this and I did that. So that's my deep issue. What do you say about you, Jovita? Have you worn an S on your chest?
Yes, I was about to say, hi, I'm Jovita.
Hi, Jovita.
But, you know, as you guys were talking, you know, you were saying fear, and I was thinking more of control, you know, relinquishing, you know, having control, because you mentioned something about being disappointed. So you wanted to take control of the situation because you didn't want to ask for that fear of being disappointment. So mine was more of a control thing. Like, I know if I do it, then it's going to get done, and it's going to get done like the way I want it to be done. So my S is control. That's basically what it was. And I, you know, I grew up with both my parents, and my mom, she never, I mean, they both had equal parts. You know, she never had that strong woman syndrome, and he didn't have that, oh, I am the man, you know, like that. So it was well balanced. But for me, being a single mother, I had to take control, you know, because if it didn't get done, it was on me. It wasn't on anybody but me. So that's why I say my S is the control factor, which leads into the fear, because it's the fear of, like, if I ask someone to do something, then I have to depend on them. And if they don't do it, then I'm disappointed, you know. And so, and it comes with that trust too. I have to trust that someone is going to do what they say they're going to do. And if they don't, then it still falls on me. So that's, it kind of all ties into what you both said.
And I think you make a valid point that, you know, no matter how you slice it, no matter how you want to cover it in jam, or you cover it in marmalade, or you cover it in butter,
right?
It's fear.
Yeah.
You know, the root issue is it's fear, because we're either walking towards love or we're walking towards fear. And a lot of us walk towards fear, and we put it in a miniskirt, or we put it in a palazzo pants, or we put it in some really hot pants, or, you know, call it whatever you want to call it. But it is what it is, right? And until we come to that discernment and really accept that, yeah, okay, it's fear. Now what we going to do about it, kind of thing.
Right.
So that brings us, we spoke that maybe the real issue is just fear, right? You mentioned, Jovita, that it could be trust. I'm also saying that maybe it's leadership, because if you ask someone to do something, you know, it's either you didn't communicate it properly to that person, so they understood, and you didn't follow up to say, well, did you understand? Then that puts a downer on your communication skills, right? So if you ask someone to do something, and I found when I was in Toastmasters, I'm still in Toastmasters, I found that if you ask someone, hey, you know, I need this pen. Oh my God. Oh, you want a pen? You want a blue one? You want a red one? You want a blue? It's like people just come out of the woodwork to assist you. All they wanted was for you to ask. They want to feel like they're a part of something.
Right.
So all you got to do is ask. And so many times I hear women, excuse me, especially women who are in the position where they are taking care of their elder parents, and they'll say, you know, I got my mom or my father to take care of, and I still have my children to take care of, and they give you this woe is me burdensome story. Meanwhile, they have 4 or 5 different siblings out there. Well, why is it that you're the one that's doing it all by yourself? How come they're not helping you? Oh, I don't want to bother them. Or, oh, they don't get along with her or him. Or, oh, I don't, it's always something. But maybe you should just freaking ask.
Right.
Just ask. Maybe they'll oblige and say, well, she can't stay with me for a whole 5 years, but she can stay with me for like
For
maybe
a couple weeks.
months.
Right.
So just ask. So what are your take on that?
I agree. Just ask. We just don't ask. And like you said, it's the fear, and we have to like come to that, realization that all we really have to do is ask, because what's the worst thing that can happen? It's they say no.
Exactly.
But the best thing that could happen, they say yes and be able to help you out. So we have to get past that. And I mean, that's a continuous work in progress, because you have to continue to work at that, because it's just one of those things when you've been disappointed and stuff, you just kind of don't want to go back there again. So you like, you know what, before I even get disappointed, so you kind of setting yourself up before you even ask, because you may not even get disappointed, but you don't know.
Right.
So, you're just kind of blocking your blessings, so to speak. So that's just my take on it. You're just kind of blocking it.
So, Pamela, what about when they are offered, the help, and then they say, nah, it's all right. What's really going on there?
I think that could stem from not wanting to be a burden, or not wanting to like pride, not wanting to feel needy. I've seen some situations where people have extended themselves. Like this one person is coming to mind with her, one of her older sisters. This is an elder, and she had reached out to one of her older sisters, and the sister had helped her out, and it wasn't like a lot, but it was a lot for that person, who was on the receiving end. And oh my God, her sister told everybody with 2 ears that could hear, and and it hurt her little sister so bad that she never accepted help from her again, and she never confided in her again.
Oh wow.
And it messed up their relationship. And I asked her, as an elder, I was like, well, what happened with you and your sister? And she told me, and I was like, so you don't talk to her? She's like, oh yeah, I talk to her, I just don't tell her anything that I don't want everyone to know.
Trust.
So trust. With trust, it's like, I trust you with my pain, and then you gave me $5, but then you brought $1,000 worth of grief.
Right.
Yeah, I have an ex like that.
Yeah, some people would struggle in silence.
Yeah, and they won't ask for help because of that very reason right there. Yeah, you're right.
And it's a shame that people are done like that. They fall prey to the egos of other people.
Right.
And their ego prevents them from getting the help that they need, for fear of being the victim of someone else's ego.
Right.
So I'm glad you brought that up, because in my journey, I used to be very, very insecure, because I was raised that everything was wrong with me. Like everything. If it rained, yeah, that's my fault too. So it made me feel like, well, I ain't saying nothing to nobody because it's going to be my fault. At the end of the day, what I've learned is that when people point the finger at you, they have to remember where the thumb is pointing. And especially when people love to point the finger, I always shield myself and say, you know what? That's not even about me. That's all them. So that's what I have learned in my journey, that those finger pointers, it's all about you, boo. All about you. So maybe in this instance, when that young lady that you were saying, it's unfortunate that that had happened to her, and she doesn't trust certain things with that person. But hey, if she can help out in a situation in another way, then why not? You know, ask her to help out in this or in that. Now, if she goes and blabs about that too, maybe what the young lady can do is kind of head it off and say, oh, you know what, ask sister so and so to help me do that. So who's she gonna tell now? But you know, at the end of the day, a lot of us just mistrust, and we don't ask, and when we ask, we don't know how to receive, and it really shuts us down, not only just in the superficial aspect of ourselves, but also in our ancestral DNA. It shuts us down in our organ work. As I know, Dr. Yewong, okay, Dr. Yewong, if you want to make a statement about that, you know, how it affects just our being so strong all the time, and that rigid exterior and that strength, and not being able to relax, what does it do to our innermost parts?
Well, with all of that being rooted in the depths of fear, whether it's ego-centered, the fear of opening up to someone and them telling your business, or the fear of rejection, or the fear of what would happen if you relinquish control of the situation to someone else, all of that has a tremendous effect on the kidney. The emotion of the kidney is fear. And so some of the things that can happen when the kidney is out of balance, your head hair, because the kidneys govern head hair, it can cause premature graying of your hair. It can cause premature hair loss. Of course, you know, can weaken your bladder. All kinds of things that happen with fear. And I wanted to like get like some positive stuff, like, you know, things that you could do to build your kidney. Because those of us who have been dancing, who raised our hand for the support group, for the Superwoman, Superman syndrome, it's important for us to meditate, to pray, to do those things, sit by bodies of water, plant your feet. Well, that's what my grandmother used to call. She used to say, go plant yourself. Now they call it earthing or grounding, you know, digging a hole in the earth and planting your feet in it and burying your feet and feeling all of that energy just being released into the earth and feeling yourself being rejuvenated. It's important for us to continue to do those things. And some foods that we can eat to help strengthen a deficient kidney: kale, bok choy, mushrooms, especially shiitake, seaweed, walnuts, black sesame seeds, beans, especially kidney beans, organ meat such as kidney, barley, shellfish.
Wait, hold on.
Celery.
Hold on. Wait, hold on. Are you saying that eating kidney helps my kidneys?
Yes. From a Chinese medical perspective, yes.
Okay.
So does eating liver help my liver?
Actually, yes.
What?
With blood deficiency?
All right.
Yes. Because the liver stores the blood.
Right.
Liver stores the blood.
Okay. Continue, please.
So those are just some things that you can do. And you know, I always have to throw some acupuncture in there, right? I always have to throw a little acupuncture. I always like to teach at least one point to the listening audience that people can find on their bodies. There is a point on the body that is called liver 3. Liver 3 on the body. And yes.
Where is that located?
It is a liver point on the body.
Your sound is
liver
being distorted.
3. And it is the source point for the liver meridian.
Okay.
It helps to build the kidney. And I'm also going to tell you how to find kidney 3, which is the source point for the kidneys.
Okay.
So, between your big toe and your second toe on your foot,
Any foot.
On your, well, both of your left foot and your right foot, because you know your body is in balance. You got yin, yang. So when we place needles in your body, we place it on both sides. So when you apply pressure, you want to apply pressure to both.
Okay.
So I'm going to pretend that this necklace is my toe.
Wait,
I know.
You want to see my toe?
Just ride with me.
Oh, it's blinging.
Just ride with me. I used to be able, back in the day, I used to be able to put both feet behind my legs, but I was 18 then, I'm 50 now. Pretend that this is the space between your toes. And you're going to
let's just use a hand. Let's just use a hand.
Okay.
So this is the big toe. This is the big toe. I don't know if everybody. Yeah, this is the big toe, and this is the second toe. So you put the needle right here.
Let me see if I can balance this book. Wait, hold on. Let me implore my daughter. Carrie, come here. Hold the phone for mommy, please. Hold on. Come around here. Say hi.
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 This is my baby. So she's going to be my Vanna White for tonight. She's gonna hold the phone for me.
Okay.
Okay, just like that. So let's say this is your big toe and your little toe.
Mm-hmm.
The space in between the toes. Mm-hmm. You're going to gently glide your finger down, and you're going to feel when your finger falls into this little groove. Mm-hmm. You'll feel when it falls into that depression. That is liver 3.
Oh, okay. I'm doing it while we're talking.
See. I'm visualizing it.
Let me see if I can do. Look, now, don't y'all talk about my feet. They're not manicured. But I don't know if you can see my toes here.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you see?
Yep.
So right here, and you will feel your finger fall into the groove.
So that's liver 3?
Yes.
Okay. Where's
and here
I'm getting
on
some
the
gray
ankle.
hairs.
Let me see, how can I do this?
Oh, we're seeing all kinds of stuff there. What's going on over there?
I know, it's like I got my skirt on. So like I said, this is the ankle. So I have one finger below the ankle bone, the other finger above the ankle bone. Slide right down the middle and up 1 inch.
Like an L?
Go across and up 1 inch. You will actually feel your finger sink into the acupuncture point.
Oh, okay.
You feel it?
Yeah.
I heard Jovita say,
I'm amazed. I'm visualizing like, oh, because it makes sense now what my acupuncturist was doing.
That is kidney 3. That is the source point for the kidneys. And those are 2 points that you can apply pressure to on yourself to help strengthen your kidneys.
Okay.
So, of water.
You always want to drink plenty of water and get plenty of rest.
Mm-hmm. That much I know. That much I know. So, audience, you learned it here first. Lots of water, lots of rest, and rub your feet.
And ankle.
And your ankle. Oh my
And
goodness.
those 2 points, just apply some gentle pressure.
Okay.
Your sound is distorted again, Pamela.
Oh, I didn't say anything. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, now we can. Yes.
Oh, no, I had stopped talking.
Oh. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I'm glad that we spoke about these people who wear the S on the chest. You know, do we have to be strong all the damn time? That's our topic of discussion here on the Speaker MC Show. And we would love to hear what our audience has to say. Our guests have been so gracious to give us some information about who they thought the superheroes are. You know, the parents, the mothers, the fathers. Yeah, like Superman, nobody sees Superman, right? Because he's like the fathers, nobody sees Superman because he's hiding in the phone booth, changing it to his big S, and they only see the mothers. But then the deeper issue that we discussed was it about fear? Was it about control? Was it about fear of people disappointing you? Was it about pride? Was it about not being a burden or thinking that, you know, you will burden someone with that issue? But at the end of the day, at the root of it all, we're either walking towards love or we're walking towards fear. So however you want to cut that mustard, it's all about fear. So we're talking about the impact that all this fear and this exuberant strength has on a person's body and their demeanor. And Dr. Yewong was so gracious to give us 2 points about the liver connection and the kidney connection, and that a lot of fear, people who live in fear, it distorts your kidney. Yeah. And you will notice that because you start getting premature gray. You got to run to the bathroom every 5 minutes. And yeah, I think that's what she said. Yeah.
And loss of head hair. You
And
start
loss of
losing your
head
hair.
hair. Yes, and loss of head hair. So she explained that on your feet, there are 2 points. One point that leads to the source, which is liver 3, which helps to rejuvenate the liver, you know, just massaging it and rubbing it. And if you want, go to an acupuncturist so the acupuncturist can stick that needle down there and get to that meridian point. And with the kidney 3 point, which is the source of the kidney, is by your ankle. Who knew? I know that under the ankle you rub it and, you know, it affects your libido, but I didn't know that the kidney was right around the corner from there. So who knew? And thank you for that little lesson, Dr. Yewong. So now we're gonna open up the floor and we're gonna give our guests like 5 minutes to give us some background on who they are. Why they do what they do? Why are they doing this thing that they're so passionate about? And how can you, the audience, connect with them? And if they brought us a little gift. So Jovita, would you like to go first?
Sure, I can go first.
Yay.
Hi, everyone. I am Jovita Miller, and I am with Pure Romance by Jovita, and I also do personal and professional development. And my overall mission is to empower women to live confident, authentic lives unapologetically. I want us to embrace our sexuality and be comfortable and confident in knowing that, you know, you can ask for what you want in the bedroom and not have that fear of, you know, what your partner may or may not say. Just go ahead and ask. So my main goal is really to get us to really open our minds and start thinking differently about how, you know, we've been taught certain things. I want us to unlearn a lot of things. My offering, I guess, today is a free consultation. If you go to chatwithjovita.info, go there and you can schedule an appointment with me and we can chat for a little bit and we can discuss any challenges challenges you may be going through in your personal or professional life, and I can kind of help guide you, and we can create a roadmap so that you can kind of overcome those challenges, and so that, you know, it'll help you reduce stress. And for like most of our mothers out there, we want to find time for ourselves, and we just, you know, we want to find time, we want to find the funds and resources, we want to build our network, and we want to build our net worth. So I have tools that I can help you with to actually plan your roadmap. Just have a roadmap to those successful challenges that you actually have. So you can reach out to me. I have a blog. It's at JovitaNMiller.com. You can read some things there. You can follow me on social media at Jovita N. Miller. And that's my handle all the way through. And I look forward to hearing from each and every one of you.
All right. Well, thank you, Jovita. And I'll post this in the chat as well as show the card where it has Jovita's information. So thank you for that. Now, Dr. Yewong, would you like to tell our guests a little bit about what you do, why you do what you do, and how can they connect with you?
Well, as you've already said, I'm a doctor of Oriental medicine. That encompasses Chinese medical herbs and acupuncture. I'm also a Reiki master and certified Grand Trine Tantra instructor. I do what I do. My hashtag is heal everywhere. And that is my desire and my earnest goal, to use acupuncture, Reiki, and Tantra to assist people in healing everywhere in their lives, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and yes, sexually. That is extremely important. That's why I do what I do. And yay. So my offering for today for the listeners, if you are in the DMV area, you can reach me at 443-824-3487. And you can schedule a half price for men Tantra session and half price Reiki session for women. I'm also a Reiki master. I always forget that. And you can also schedule half price on acupuncture as well. Again, my phone number is 443-824-3487. My email is PamelaHallInc@gmail.com. My social media is Pamela Yewong-Hall, Yewong, Pamela Yewong-Hall on Facebook, and Dr. Yewong on Instagram.
All right. Well, thank you, ladies. Thank you so much. I want to open up the floor. Does anyone have any questions? I'm going to see. Just raise your hand if you have a question for Dr. Yewong, for Jovita, for me, anything whatsoever, or any comments or any suggestions. Please just raise your hand in the chat. And until we see some hands raised, I just want to get some feedback from both you and Jovita. Have you, well, no, we already spoke that. How was your time here at the SpeakerMC Show?
Want me to go?
Oh, wait, we have a hand raised. Raised. Who raised their hand? Teresa. Yes, Teresa. Thank you for raising your hand. What is your question?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
I can hear it. My question, I don't have a question. I just got in here late, so I really didn't hear the key point. But one thing I did hear you guys speak about is just empowerment, how to transfer over to where if you feel like you need to have power at work 24/7 in your life 24/7, that does affect like your personal life. And that's what I'm struggling with now, because like all the jobs that I have, I was in control of everything. Now that I'm getting older, I notice like I'm going through a lot of stress, anxiety, and stuff like that, and that's because of like the jobs that I have been having. And now that I'm a school operation manager, it's like even more stressful. So it's just a battle with like trying to not always have power.
Okay. Anybody want to tackle that to give her a suggestion? Thank you, Teresa, for being so courageous and raising your hand and putting your voice in the space. Thank you for that.
I would say,
You're welcome.
this is Dr. Yewong. It is okay to
Hi, Dr.
delegate. Hi. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing. It's important to learn the power of delegation when you're in a role of power and leadership. It's okay to delegate things and then allow someone else to oversee it getting done, and then allow them to check back in with you. I just turned 50, and I'm learning that when you give people something to do, something that they can wrap their ego around and feel attached to and proud of, then they'll be glad to come back and show you that they did a good job, because everyone likes to receive praise and a pat on the back. And also for the stress, I'm going to give you an acupuncture point that you can apply pressure to. This point is GV 24.5, also known as yin tong. I personally refer to it as the marijuana point. don't go in your acupuncturist's office saying you like the marijuana point. They're going to what? And then they're going to turn around and stick the needle where I'm about to show you. But but I call it the marijuana point because it has the same relaxing effect as if you had taken a couple of puffs. Now I'm being transparent, really transparent, because back in the day, I'll just say back in the day, because back in the day. But when you follow the ridges of your orbital bone, you'll land right into it. You'll see they meet right in the center in a V. And when you put your finger there in the middle of your forehead where the two orbital bones meet, you'll see a little V. You'll feel it. And you can kind of see it too as you look at the crevice of my face. Right there where they meet in the center, I'm sorry, I'm starting to get relaxed.
Did we lose her?
I'm starting to get around. I think I need one more hit. Hold on.
So okay. Your point is, so Dr. Yewong, your point is we're running out of time. So your point basically is that point right there is the soothing point for anybody with stresses, even stress headaches, because a lot of people have those stress headaches as well.
Well, with headaches, it depends on where it's coming from, because there are different meridian pathways that go through the body.
True that.
So if it's on the side, that's the gallbladder. If it's coming here, that's the bladder. If it's like in this area, that's the small intestine. So it depends. But to bring your body down, if you have a headache, the initial point that I showed you all on the foot, liver 3, and that depression as you go up the foot between the big toe and the second toe, that point is also good for helping to move liver chi energy down.
Oh,
to help pull it down.
I like that. Okay. Well,
and then there's another point that's good for headaches. The first one that I attempted to show you between the thumb and the index finger, same concept. When you apply pressure into the middle of these two, go down like that between the two. Your finger will fall right into it. And if that's a little difficult, then just close your fingers like this, and where the fleshy part is, the highest point, press down.
And that reduces the stress?
That's good for headaches as well.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's something to remember, right?
Right.
Yeah, I like that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we're like 5 minutes in, and I wanted to close the show with saying, thank you, ladies, for being here today. I hope you had a wonderful time. Did you have a good time?
Yes.
Awesome time.
Yes.
Oh,
Great time.
excellent, excellent. And I wanted to remind our audience that, we are so happy and grateful that Dr. Yewong made it, and we're so happy and grateful that Jovita Miller came by to grace our stage, the Speaker MC Show, to help us to feed you the information about being strong all the time. That, it's not good for you. Meditate, relax, bring your body down, rub your feet, rub your hands, press your fleshy parts of your hands. Haha, got you there. And I just wanted to remind you that this weekend, July 28th, this Saturday, 7 to 9, we are in Brooklyn. Champagne and chocolate conversation. 3 ways to masturbate more money into your bank account. Yes, that's right. You heard it. Masturbate more money into your bank account. You learn the 3 things that you can do now to increase your cash flow. 3 things you can do now to be more in control of you and your bank account. And 3 things that you can do now to receive more, especially with this new kind of prayer. But you got to come by. So check us out at http://bit.ly. That's bit.ly guest champagne -chocolate. If you're in the Brooklyn, New York area, or if you have a friend who's in the Brooklyn, New York area, we're going to be at 138 South Oxford Street. That's downtown Brooklyn. Studio G, 138 South Oxford Street, Studio G. Yeah, 3 ways to masturbate more money into your bank account. We're talking about the Harry Bank, NA. Yes. Our next show is going to be on Monday, August 6th, and we're talking then about woman to woman. Yeah, we talk about women empowerment, but are we really empowering each other? So thank you all for being here, guests and audience alike. I hope that you had a really valuable, enriching, fun-filled time here on the Speaker MC Show. And I say that because I've learned that people will forget what you said, they'll forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. And I hope that we here at the Speaker MC Show have made you feel warm and fuzzy and totally satisfied. Yeah, I said it. You heard it here. I said it. Yes, I did. And here is our information for our guests. Please feel free to reach out to them. You can reach Ms. Jovita Miller at www.jovitanmiller.com. That's jovitanmiller.com. Make sure you take advantage of her. What was your gift, Jovita?
Free consultation.
Free consultation. I thought I wrote it down. Her free consultation. And Dr. Pamela Yewong-Hall from Mafa Holistic, www.mafaholistic.com. She is offering half price on everything: acupuncture, tantra, and something else.
Reiki.
And Reiki, yes. And here I am, Speaker MC at S.W.E.L.L for Women, www.marciachambers.com. You can get your tickets for this weekend's soiree, which is the Champagne and Chocolates Conversation, or you can get a free gift from me just by texting MC Engage. That's M like Mary, C like Charlie, Engage, like the engagement ring, MC Engage, to 44222. That's text MC Engage to 44222. And we thank you for joining us here tonight. We hope that you'll be back with us next time on August 6th. Hope to see you this Saturday, and please reach out to our guests. You can find us on any social media with the handle at @Speak2MC. So until next time, bye for now.